Well, what is up, my spectacular spectator spec powers here? You can call me Mr. Night of the Living Dead fan, Mr. Zombie fan, Mr. Horror movie person, or Mr. Review person, because it is time for me to do a YouTube video on a review of the DVD of Night of the Living Dead. That's right, the George Romero 1968 classic, starring Dwayne Jones, Judith O'Dea, and Russ Streiner, just to name a few. And so first of all, let's start with this, shall we? First of all, here's the DVD cover right here. It's an art picture, like graphic novel / comic book style. The title on the top, Night of the Living Dead. There's Judith O'Dea's character right there in art form, and there's the zombies. Classic science fiction re-release. I got this when they were celebrating the 50th anniversary of the release of this movie at the time, 6 years ago at the time of this recording, back in 2018. Almost the 50th anniversary. It was 2017, like fall of 2017. I got that Living Dead title right there. Here's the back. Feel free to pause and read if you want. There we go. And so yeah, I've seen this movie last year or 2 years ago. And here's the disc. Nice, right? The picture, the logo, etc. So it's about a girl named Barbara, who's played by Judith O'Dea, who I actually had the honor to meeting a few years ago at my first ever Chilla Theater Expo back in October of 2021, alongside Russ Streiner, who played Barbara's brother. Another nice person. Very nice people in general, honestly. My viewers. And she goes with her brother to visit a family relative's grave, and then they notice a zombie, and her brother gets killed in the act, and then she gets scared away, and she goes to this house and discovers that the dead have risen. And she meets up with these other survivors in this house, and they have to protect themselves, like barricade themselves, etc., fight to survive. And this is what launched the zombie genre many years ago. And without this movie, or without this movie even being a success in general, we wouldn't have had the zombie genre at least the way it is today. Like we definitely wouldn't have had The Walking Dead. We wouldn't have had Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. We wouldn't have had probably wouldn't have had 28 Days Later, World War Z, The Last of Us, etc. It goes on and on. And we probably wouldn't even have had Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies campaign and all those 6 games that came out at the time of this recording. But yeah, the zombie genre has came a long way. So when I met Judith O'Dea and Russ Streiner years ago at NJ Chiller Theater Expo of October 2021, I remember it like it was yesterday. She was amazed that people of my generation recognized this film since it was from multiple generations ago. Like, she was amazed that people of my generation are a fan of this movie, and she was so flattered. I elbowed her because we were just out of COVID at the time, or still in COVID. Like, we were still fresh on it. We still had to wear masks at the time, and we were talking about COVID vaccines, and we were talking about the isolation, and it was weird because it's a zombie apocalypse movie. It's about isolation. And Russ Streiner, I told him what town I was from, and he asked me what town I was from, and I told him, and he was like, I know exactly where that is. It seems like no matter what town you were from or city you were from, he always knew where it was or knew something significant about it, because he was all over the place on tour for conventions and events, etc., and stuff like that, right? And he was like, there used to be an outdoor theater there many years ago, and Night of the Living Dead was one of the movies that played there when it first came out. And I was like, I had no idea about this, Mr. Stoner. Thank you for letting me know about that. And he said, no problem. So that's how I know that my town used to have an outdoor theater many years ago. There's not one here right now, unfortunately, at the time of this recording. Who knows? Maybe we could get one back. I could try to see if it's possible, but I'll worry about that another time, viewers. But yeah. So yeah, and it's approximately 96 minutes, and it says unrated, but it's definitely rated R. 1968, black and white. It helps with the tone. Like, so yeah, it's a classic zombie movie. Again, it started the zombie genre, launched the zombie genre as we know it today. George Romero had a great vision. The acting was awesome, the suspense, especially with the music and the black and white quality, it made it suspenseful. And the zombies were creepy, and they did that great job acting there. And the story was really detailed, good. No filler. It's just detailed. It doesn't feel stretched out at all. It doesn't feel slow. It's very eventful. And so yeah, and like I really enjoyed this movie. I totally recommend it, and especially the other zombie movies like Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, etc., including the remakes. And like, can't go wrong when it comes to George Romero and classic films, especially when it comes to the zombie genre. Like and this is what inspired Robert Kirkman to write create the Walking Dead universe, with starting with the graphic novels. Like, he was originally gonna make the graphic novel series of The Walking Dead titled Night of the Living Dead, and he was gonna have it set in 1968 and set in the state that this movie's set in, and he was gonna have it be like a spin-off of that movie universe, but then he decided to make it his own. Like, there's a pilot comics somewhere. I'll find that in the future. We'll talk about that in the future. But this is what inspired The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead, my personal favorite TV show, wouldn't have been possible without this movie and genre. So I really love it, and the cult following still lives on to this day. I really love it, and I'm happy about it. I'm not ashamed to admit that I still love this kind of stuff. I love the zombie genre, and I'm gonna keep liking it for a long time, at least. So yeah, it's really good. Night of the Living Dead from 1968, starring Dwayne Jones, Judith O'Dea, Russ Streiner, just to name a few. Released in 1968, and yeah, I totally recommend it. And if you like, comment down below. What was your favorite zombie movie? Let me know, because I'd like to know. So yeah, rate, favorite, subscribe, even comment. I'll talk to you later. Peace.